seer habitat in use. They already found the initial drop, but now will follow through. Enemy dome down in just a moment, waiting for this one to tick out. No longer defensible here. Xeniel's looking a little bit low, but the return from Phony is more than well enough to seal the deal here. One last standing member in the sky there and completely shredded Spectre Esports.
Guaranteed 4 partner teams in the top 5.
Easily.
And SAF, Axet, and Lazarus have all came out tonight and made a statement that, hey, we're not going to let that happen. We can throw down with these teams. We can compete at the top level. And they have looked really, really good. So it's really a bookended top 5 with Intel at the top and Tyson in 5th place. But we are ready to go on Storm Point once again. We jump on board with our champion squad from game number 4. It's Lazarus. They're landing at Antenna. And let's see how they can do here in our 5th game of the day.
Probably pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
That's it. Stream's over.
Okay, have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you later.
We're just going to assume their particular win or their advantage here. For Lazarus, though, I have to say it's probably the best showing. Because even within our open, / pro nights, Lazarus has been a toss-up, right? Kind of trying to figure out how they are to gel. And the fact that going into Season 13 now, they've found consistency among every time they come out here, which has been these recent weeks, is definitely a nice sight. Meanwhile, Vizio, a lot more in terms of expectations for this roster, but having some great success coming into our 4th open night, I suppose. Vizio have already found drops, DSO. This is the perfect roster, especially if you want to get your taste buds a little bit wet in terms of some of the KP necessary to wrap yourself back into it.
Yep. Vizio just trying to trap DSO in this building, and I think they've done a pretty darn good job here. There's some damage there onto Sung and Blitz, but it's not going to mean much. That's 3 KP for Vizio as they draw first blood here in game number 5.
Vizio, finally. I haven't been keeping track particularly of their journey as a whole, but it's good to see, obviously, the 3 KP. Maybe this, very similarly to Intel when we saw them on their last game, World's Edge, leads to a greater advancement here. Meanwhile, RCO on the very, very edge. You can see the try on those ordinances from Fleepy Panda. Doesn't quite find the damage. Oh, it's a Watson squad. This could be a Tyson. This could be a other squad.
So I'm going to pull a little context for you here for Vizio. Game number 1, 7 kills, 13th place. As we get some more action, we'll pause on that. Here's RCO trying to get some stuff done here, and they've got the bubble down. They're looking to push their way into this building, but they don't seem too confident that they're going to be able to get in there.
They're not really looted up well enough yet.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rough push here as Spectre Esports able to take out Intelligence. They flip the script here in game number 5. So let me go back to my Intel Vizio stats here. It was 7 kills, 13th place, game 1. Game number 2, 14th, no kills. Game number 3, better in terms of placement in 7th, but only a single kill to their name. And then game number 4, they get into the top 10 with no kills. So it's been a rough showing today here for Vizio. Some KP to their name, but not any incredible placings.
Well, we'll have to check back in with them a little bit later. Meanwhile, it seems like our attention centralized around Esports Arena, and finally we get to see a little bit of that seer habitat in use. They already found the initial drop, but now will follow through. Enemy dome down in just a moment, waiting for this one to tick out. No longer defensible here. Xeniel's looking a little bit low, but the return from Phony is more than well enough to seal the deal here. One last standing member in the sky there and completely shredded Spectre Esports, eliminated in Fish Farms.
Yep, Phony just beaming there. The R301 in the flatline doing great work there for the newly minted member of Team Esports Arena, and the squad wipes them out. RCO, meanwhile, elsewhere on the map, eliminated, I think it was Start a Fight that was able to take them out. Meanwhile, we jump over to Nerf, a squad that had a really good start to last night. Weren't able to complete some of those games. I mean, this is a team that feels like very consistently set themselves up for victory, but just aren't quite able to dot their I's and cross their T's and finish off those games. We'll see if maybe they have a victory in them here in the final two games of tonight as Messiah.
Good job.
Roasting people here out on the beach. Nobody brought their sunscreen because Messiah is out here to just burn everyone. Turns hunting for this final player. That's going to be Green Doe's going down. Okay, so still one more left.
Oh, right around the back.
Banner.
Surprise!
Hey, Phantom. Good night to the Blood Vikings.
Oh, a bit of a shame there. I will say that's a pretty hefty rotation from the Blood Vikings. Last time we checked in with them, they were actually at wall where we saw them fall in game 4 here. So tried to switch it up, maybe find some better pacing elsewhere on the map, and not quite successful. Meanwhile, Intel still looking for their own route of success. It's a return impulse from behind, switches to the wingman. Those shots are crucial, but Mooney with the dome potentially saving the day there. Now they turn their attention towards their opposing Gibraltar, in and out through the dome. It's a drop down, one last kill. Doom in and tap. Strafers are eliminated in the face of Intel. Meanwhile, Vizio in a fight of their own.
Very fine line between a fight victory and defeat there for Intel, but they come out on top, and now Vizio, let's going to be able to get off the res here inside of the bubble. No,
whoa!
Not quite is that player able to push into the bubble just in time to stop it. Grenades thrown down by Borton, but I don't know that it's going to save Vizio here, and they're going to be out again. 13th place this time around as glory to the Republic continue to be the thorn in the side of some of the top partner teams here.
Yeah, glory to the Republic. They may not be showing up in our end games, but they sure as heck can take those early game finishers that can be so dastardly towards the overall Mobile 1 leaderboard. I'd love to see them transition it, but it just hasn't held true. Bit of a shame to see Vizio end their journey once again, now sitting in what was, I believe, 13th with, we'll say, roughly maybe 3 KP to work with. Once again, a very low-scoring game.
Yeah, Vizio certainly struggling here tonight, have not been able to carry the performance from last night here into today, and it has them definitely on the wrong side of the leaderboard, considering how strong they have been to start off this season. Meanwhile, Tyson just farming up some gear here as Razor. A lot of 30-30s. People in this lobby tonight have been big fans of this weapon.
I love this. I'm ready to discuss.
Do it. Talk to me.
Think about it, right? 13.1 comes through. Wingman's back in the crafter. You don't have access to that, but you still want something that's semi-related in terms of at least what it offers. Your next best option, I'd say, is your 30-30. Obviously, you don't get quite the speed in terms of the aim and ADS control of the Wingman, but when you don't have access towards those resources, what else do you got?
Well, in what you maybe trade that speed for is the range, right? You can slap a 2 to 4 or a 3x on that 30-30, which just gives you a little bit better shots at range, and teams have definitely been very effective with that 30-30 so far tonight. Enemy, meanwhile, with the boat check that he has made quite a few plays on so far this season, and looking to do more here. Excedrin, very similarly to Vizio, struggling tonight. Have not been their usual selves here. Have been punished quite a bit in these early games.
You know what?
And we'll see what they can do here in Game 5.
I'm okay with that. I'm gonna say it. I'm okay with a little bit of some mistakes to be had here among squads. I don't. It's gonna be controversial, but Season 4 was a little bit too dominant from Vizio and Intel towards the end.
Hey,
I feel like
I completely agree with you there, right? If it is a more wide open Series E this time around, which
series?
All right, can we production? Can we just do the thing? If it is a more competitive Series E, this time around, where it feels like instead of Vizio just walking away with it and Intel maybe just not having quite enough time to catch up, and it feels more like, hey, there's 4, maybe even 5 teams
really good
that can
teams
contend for the title in Series E this season. I'm all about it. That's great in my opinion, and would be very, very fun to watch, and it certainly has been here so far this season. Is Lazarus on the hunt here? That's Flesh on that Valkyrie, but can they finish it off? It doesn't look like it here. That Valkyrie player going to get out of danger for the time being, as the Seer Scan going to come through and catch that player. And that's going to be the knock from Dank at the finish with that wingman.
Dank a little stank there with the aim. Now searching for the Valkyrie to claim. Gotta say, they're on the run for now, but Lazarus have been on their toes tonight, so likely will follow through. Meanwhile, Startify also finding a lot of success. One of those other squads that we talked about, not a partner, but definitely just as competitive here into the Grav Cannon. Gonna follow this one up. The charge of the PK is available on landing. This could be absolutely massive, but they turn right back around, and they're gonna be landing in the hands of Rack.
Oh, yeah, and Rack's PK does not miss. 1, 2, 3. He says good night to glory to the Republic.
Rack! Racking up the shots there with the PK. My lord! What an incredible show of skill there, because I'll tell you what, he was low. It only took one marginal miss there in return from Glory to the Republic, and that would have been all said and done. So start a fight. They defend the upper end, coming down from the north with a happy team to boot. Meanwhile, we check back in with Tyson. Not quite the setup that we're used to seeing. You don't got no watts and fences, none of that. Instead, just a plethora of damage here from Excedrin as they run them back towards the mill.
Yeah, Tyson having to back off, and enemy landing those bolts from the bow check. That's Flesh
Fury
on
down,
one player.
Fury
Fury gets knocked by Kimchi. And here comes Excedrin. Is this finally the game where this team comes online tonight? They have been MIA through a majority of tonight's action. Can they get something done here on Tyson, I should say?
Come on.
Because it messes me up when I see Fury, but he is playing for Tyson tonight.
It's a little weird. A little weird. It's a bit screwy there, but that's been enough time that Tyson easily finds the revive and can reapproach. Speaking of approaches, start a fight, take to the skies, the redeploy with the Valkyrie. They're going to be actually entering through checkpoint here, potentially playing this one around what is that exit towards the west, and it can be good. It was just yesterday that the two of us were watching Vizio come through this choke where they had their most dominant win out by the downed beast.
Yeah, and that was a hell of a finish from Vizio yesterday.
Insane.
Wow. Okay, Team Esports Arena, though, they've got triple red Evos. They're in a really good spot right now. This is gonna be very scary, especially because guess who they found? They found Fury and Tyson, and Excedrin is likely still nearby. So things gonna get a little hot and heavy here real quickly. So be ready, ladies and gentlemen, because Team Esports Arena, they've got their eyes set on some KP here. They may look for the push. They're gonna be able to take down that Watson ultimate, so that's gonna prevent that sustain on the armors. Can they take him? Okay, here they come. Arc Stars out. There's no protection from this utility. That's going to do some work there. Now they're looking for more. The Seer Scan will spot out that player hiding behind the boxes. And down goes Z Davis. Impulse and the Intel squad fighting elsewhere, but the focus now is on Team Esports Arenas. They're looking to fight with Tyson right now. They're looking to throw some hands, and it's working so far. Ace squad goes down.
Lazarus
Tyson eliminated as well. Lazarus has arrived in the area, so we're going to get the Titans duking it out here real quick.
Esports Arena, though, they read that situation to a T. Noticed that the third party was coming through there and pulled away just as quickly as they did arrive there. Now, noticeably, Lazarus actually retreat from that successful fight. I'm pretty sure this leaves a lot of the open-ended on those death boxes to be in, of course, the ESA control here. So Have to see how they fare in regards, even if it might be a little bit secondary towards that loot. But this is still a nasty pinch position to be in. You got ESA in the center, Excedrin towards your north retaining position. And now, not just Lazarus, but Intel also coming into mill.
All the big dogs joining the fight here at the mill. See that? I'm fine with. That's good. I love it. I love it. The big dogs are in the house. Intel up high here on mill. And James Fearless has got a car. It has got a target. Good night, G7 Dank. There's the one clip he is known for. Now looking for more is Impulse. That's a knock onto Bird. And rest in peace, Lazarus. The problem here, though, Team Esports Arena on the fringe. And James Fearless is going to get the kills there. Lazarus is gone, but what can ESA do? Intel quickly follows. And Esports Arena making a statement here in Game 5.
Intel dropping 7th. It's definitely something to tease the leaderboard, but it might allow for the gap to retain, or my apologies, to close here, as each of these teams now have a shot for first place. Esports Arena quickly sliding in. Obviously, Xenial have to take some time to retreat this one out, but I think this is the last remaining squad to pull for Mills. I think Esports Arena, they've got complete control here.
Yeah, the biggest questions are SAF, who we just see Aves getting knocked, and they're in trouble as they're fighting Razor. What is up with SAF and XSET? Those are the biggest questions, because those are the two teams in a position to threaten Intel at the top of the standings based on the result in this game. And boom, perfect. Thank you to our observers and production there. We jump over to XSET. They're still alive in the top 6 here, and they're pretty well set up. Double red Evo's clean. Very close, I believe, to getting the red Evo himself. Yes, 100%. They are just outside the north side of this next circle. Also, a world drop dropping nearby them here. Meanwhile, Razor maybe having one of their best performances of the night. They've shown up in the kill feed a few times. Let's see what happens. Yeah, they were messing with Start a Fight moments ago. Can they finish him? Flesh, Flesh, and down goes Rack. SAF is out. Razor takes him down.
Razor here possibly on the track to a much-needed win here in the regards towards Season 5. Problem, though, Zone's not being too nice. They're going to have to hold right up against the edge of that choke there, and we both just saw how hard it was for Start a Fight to find their way out, so maybe potentially a different move for them. Noticeably, though, what I think is very interesting is they're running a very similar composition to Esports Arena. They've got that Watson-Seer combo that has slowly showed up throughout today.
Yeah, we'll see how well they can use it. Important to note, going into Game 5, X at 10 points behind Intel for first place. If there was ever a game where they needed to shake off that bridesmaid title and grab the win that they so desperately need, it is right now. Excedrin, though, still alive here. They're looking for their best performance of the night. They have already established it with this game. They're in the top 5. Oh, this is going to be a hell of a finish, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in. We've got a fun one here in Game 5. It's still one more to go. Kimchi Lee with this Havoc, and he's got the Bruiser on it, doing some work here at range. Cruising up on the high ground on this rock. He is going to spot out the Valkyrie redeploy. Has to immediately ping it out because Team Esports Arena looking to set up the flank here. ESA rotates outside of the circle to get behind Excedrin. They want to push into the back of Excedrin here, and there they go. Good night. Xset absolutely wipes them out, but Kenny goes down. Esports Arena and Razor are here, and good night, Xset. It's all going wrong. ESA now with a huge opportunity, and Razor as well. ESA to the high ground. What can they do? They're going to get the peek down here onto Razor. And Razor didn't know they were there. They didn't have the information. Xset is eliminated, and now Razor likely soon to follow.
Now down to a very peculiar situation. Nerf wants to come through.
Look who it is!
This third party.
Xenial, can you do it? Esports Arena firing away. Force gonna get knocked by Scissors. Messiah running for his
not
life.
the right one.
It's Zenile chasing him. Zenile's gonna go down. It's now Scissors and Phony. What can they do? 3 squads remaining. I think there's still 1 member of Razor still alive as Nerf has been eliminated. It's just Box OT left, and ESA takes the win in Game 5.
I mean, that was just a cluster there in the end. I gotta say, the zone does not give much credit towards positioning in moments like that. Even for some of our strongest teams, they were just at the whim of the chaos that was sourced out there. For Team Esports Arena,